or email us on info@faithtodaytv.co.ke.
Every great journey begins with a single step. And at JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences, that step is met with warmth, guidance, and possibility. Here, learning goes beyond the books. It is where future healthcare heroes are nurtured by passionate instructors who believe in their potential. From theory to practical, our healthcare assistant students gain real-world skills in a real healthcare setting, preparing to serve, support, and make a difference from day one. Because at JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences, we don't just teach healthcare. We empower excellence. Admissions are now open for our May and June intakes. Step into your future today. Find us at Blessed House, 5th floor, opposite Garden City Mall. JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences, empowering excellent healthcare.
At JCK Hospital, we understand that a child's smile is priceless. That's why our dental services are tailored with care and compassion to ensure your little ones have the best experience possible. From gentle checkups to specialized treatments, our pediatric dental experts create a safe and friendly environment, making every visit fun and stress-free. Because we believe healthy habits start young. And for the grown-ups, we've got you covered too, with top-notch dental care for the whole family. Visit JCK Hospital today, located in Roysambu, opposite Park University on Lumumba Drive, and experience dental care that's gentle, professional, and family-friendly. JCK Hospital, you first.
For many, fasting is just a spiritual practice, a sacred way to connect with the divine. But what if the science has more to reveal in terms of insulin sensitivity, your metabolic health, and your general well-being? Are you struggling to fast? Are there any exceptions for fasting? Now stay tuned as we break down fasting and the link, the role, the part it plays in chronic illness prevention. Greetings and welcome yet to another transformative episode of The Healthy You. This is your favorite health program on Faith Today Television. My name is Enock Kitondekijja, your host. I'm so honored to walk this journey of health, healing, and transformation with you. Again, a special thanks goes to JCK Hospital. Now, these are our esteemed partners. They make this program possible. Should you be looking for content, for consultation, anything regarding your health, do not get stuck along the way. These people are right here at your service. Use that number on your screen to reach them. Now, for students who are trying to enter into the health career program, you're excited, the place to start is JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences. As you can see, reach them using that number on your screen. May June intake is ongoing. July intake is also ongoing. We are getting in more consultations coming in. Do not miss this revolution. Now, today is a very special day We began a conversation in line with chronic illness, unmasking chronic illness. This is now the part 3. We are getting deeper, and today's episode, we are diving into a subject that merges both ancient wisdom and modern day science. You don't want to miss this. And again, to help us unpack this peril is no ordinary gentleman, one that is becoming familiar to our faces, a man who is committed to help us, individuals, every single person with metabolic dysfunction. He has specialized in insulin resistance. I mean, this gentleman is an expert. They call him insulin IQ expert. He has an experience of more than 20 years in the medical field. Now, this is enough reason for you not to miss this discussion. This is a time where you invite your members, your friends, people around you. Now, we are aware of those of you who are following us on social media. We want to remind you to subscribe. Please, if this conversation makes sense, go ahead and share with as many people as you can. Now, we have that number on your screen. Should you have a question regarding this discussion, just send it in right away. Remember, the earlier you do, the better service you get from our expert. Again, Dr. Joseph, you are welcome once again to the Healthy You program.
Thank you, Enock.
How has been your week?
Great.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just starting. So I'm very happy and grateful to be back here at Faith Today TV and to continue to share this message of healthy you and healthy living.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's a palm-pleasing pleasure to have you here. There's so much value you're giving our viewers, more so online. I see great feedback coming in. Yeah, I mean, just say a word to our viewers before we dive into the subject of the day. Feel free to look into the camera and say a word.
All right. So welcome our viewers. As Enock has said, so we look forward to sharing with you, making you better, but most important, helping you get unstuck and demystify chronic healthcare, and especially what we call the lifestyle diseases. That's what I do. I help people to get better through lifestyle changes, and we look forward to sharing all this and you learning more and more. So welcome our viewers.
Well, thank you so much, and we're excited to have you again. And actually, our conversation today is, where I come from.
Yeah.
We are so accustomed to fasting. Some people do it as just as a religious ritual. Once in a while, someone does fasting. But today we want to understand the connection from a metabolic and health perspective. What do you have to say about fasting?
Interesting. We have been talking about diet. And most of the time, when you talk about health, we discuss health. We discuss diet. But we forget that there's eating and there's a time that you're not eating. Those two go closely together. Good example. How do you know that you are sick? When you are not able to eat. So there's a big connection, even as we discuss this big topic. It just shows you that there's a connection between illness and not eating. So when you talk about fasting, you're saying you are not eating. Fasting is a period where you are not eating. Because there are only two things that we are doing all the time. It's either you are eating or you are fasting. So when you are not eating, you are fasting. As simple as that. So that's the quick introduction into what fasting is. And for metabolic, when you talk about metabolic health, you are talking about trying to control some key aspects of your body without medication, in simple terms. So today we'll be discussing fasting in terms of controlling your blood sugar, which we've already discussed, in terms of controlling your insulin levels. We talk about fasting in terms of controlling your cholesterol levels. We can talk about fasting in terms of controlling your blood pressure. And probably lastly, we talk about weight. And time we said about the waistline, how do you control all those key aspects without drugs, and how fasting comes into that. So in short, when you hear of metabolic health, that is what we are discussing. And that those are the key aspects that we can dwell, or we are going to dwell into.
All right. And I like the way you give us an understanding that this is a process, this is something that we have been doing for a long time, and we probably didn't know that it is fasting. Imagine the definition of the first meal we have is breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Meaning you've broken.
Yes.
So those long hours, okay, now that makes sense. So how does that tie into now these other metabolic illnesses?
So good one. And let me pick from where you mentioned. When you talk about fasting, people think of the 21 days, fasting that, comes in the beginning of the year for many congregations, many people in the church, that sort of thinking. Could be some Muslims who are thinking of Ramadan. So yeah, that is fasting. But we are always fasting. And you mentioned you have a breakfast every day. That means you have not eaten for 12, or so many hours that you slept. So when you wake up, you are fasting. So that shows that it's part of the human beings. That's how you are created. There is something called the human cycle has the circadian rhythm. That's the clock, a biology in your body, a clock in your body that guides how everything happens. So it just shows that as part of that, when you sleep, when you wake, there's a way even the hormones behave. They have a pattern of release. There's a cycle of release in those 24 hours of living that we have. And that's where even fasting comes in very strongly. And you have a fast at night. You can't keep eating at night. So you have to fast because it has its own importance that we can even get deeper into.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I also want to understand, because I know our viewers out there,
Yeah.
they would want to know, because some of them have been fasting for long hours.
Yes.
There are those who have been really doing the dry fasting and things like that.
Yeah.
But then later on, they get to have these diseases coming up in their health.
Yeah.
What are they doing right? How is the right way to fast? What makes the difference with all the days they tell us? What makes fasting so unique that it can help us prevent all these diseases?
Let's discuss it from the background that we've been having. You fast from a point of abundance, basically. So you have all these, whenever you eat, let's say, whenever you eat, your body accumulates. And I think we somehow described how that happens. If you eat a meal and that meal, you are not using the energy or the nutrients, all of them, the body will stop. And we gave an example of, let's say, carbohydrates. If you eat a lot of carbohydrates, the body, through the liver, will have a fast store if it's not using all that, food. So when you store that, the body knows that it keeps that for a rainy day or a day where you have famine. So you end up having a store of fat, whatever we call fat. And we had described that you have good fat and you have bad fat. So the good fat will be stored in the right places. So yes, you will become big and you will have fat in the right places, and that's the good fat. But you can also have fat in the wrong places, or what we call ectopic fat, fat in the wrong places. And when you have good fat, then you are not going to have problems, metabolically speaking. But when we have wrong fat, then it means once in a while, you need to get rid of that bad fat. And what's the easiest way of getting rid of that bad fat? It's allowing the body to get into its reserve, whatever was kept, so that then you can have the right way of, you can have the right balance of the good fat. So that's where we come in. So when we are fasting, it means then you are not eating anything, so that you allow your body to break down the bad fat or break down your reserves. That is what we call metabolic flexibility. And I would give, let me give an analogy, a simple one. Suppose you have, imagine a truck, you know, the trucks that carry oil. So what does it have? It has its own engine. You know, you have the cabin, it has its own engine, and it has a tank of fuel. Then it also has the big fuel. So imagine your body as such. So you have that big fuel. So when the whole idea, imagine you are coming from Mombasa, because that's where you have your oil, and you are going probably to Kampala. What will happen along the way? The small tank will get exhausted and you are going to need to tap into it. So the same thing the body apparently looks like. So you have your small tank, which is your liver stores some glycogen.
Yeah, fuel.
Fuel. But then you also have the fat, the bigger fat. Those are the reserves, and they are in the bigger tank. So imagine if you are able to connect directly to the bigger tank. So the fuel, you will never need to stop, so that you can, do the connection. You will continue on your journey. That's just an analogy. So the same thing, we need to train our bodies. And that's what fasting does. Fasting, you train your body so that you can tap into those reserves. That means you will never, if you are continually or routinely fasting, you'll never accumulate those excess fats that we talk about. Yeah.
Wow. You put it right as just like an expert. And I think it is getting even more better for our viewers. You can tell that the fasting you've been doing is not for now. It is making sense in your body. We are learning that it allows your body to get rid of the bad fat. He made a statement. He calls it ectopic fat. Is that sounding familiar? Fat in the wrong places, your body needs to get rid of. So fasting is that gateway to help you in that process. Now, should you have any question regarding this discussion, feel free to send it in using that number on your screen, and let us know where you are watching from and your name along with. That's very, very important. Joseph, you're giving us value, and I want us now to engage another gear, probably, because there are so many forms of fasting, like you talked about. The Daniel fast, some people talk about the 24-hour fast, 3 days fast, and the like. Someone also came up with the concept of the intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
So help us understand and break that down for us. What is the right way to fast? Yeah. What really makes sense? How does it help someone who is already suffering from maybe diabetes, a chronic illness? It could be high blood pressure. It could be maybe they are obese or things like that. Yeah. Talk to that person who has received the diagnosis. Yes, help them.
All right. Thanks, Enoch. So for our viewers, Is there right fasting? Is there wrong fasting? And what fasting should you do? It's very personal. This is a very personal thing. So you need to, first of all, understand where you are at. So it depends on why you're fasting. What's your goal? Because as you've just mentioned that there are several aspects. So together with your, if you are sick, then you have to plan this with your doctor. You have to discuss this with your doctor. So you agree, this is my goal, so this is the kind of fasting I'll do. And let me just describe probably the ones that you just said. First, we said fasting is staying without food for a period. So we have let me start with the intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting means you have a restricted time where you are not eating, and then you have only a certain time that you will eat. Commonly, we have what we call 16 hours of not eating. Then you have a window of 8 hours of eating. Breaking it down, how is 16? Suppose you eat your supper at, most people eat at around 7?
Yeah.
7?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you eat at 7. So you eat at 7.
In the digital age, people today graze a bit late.
Oh,
10,
yeah.
11.
Okay, so if you eat at 10, let's go with your 10. So if you eat at 10.
Not my 10. Very many people out there.
Okay. Yeah. So if you eat at 10,
Okay.
10 until 10 the next day, if you don't wake up to eat, then you will have stayed for 12 hours, right? So 12 hours. So you're saying from 12 hours, so that's from 10 to 10. So you will not eat in 10 to 10. So you add another, how many hours? 6 hours.
Yeah, to make it 16.
So your first
4
meal,
hours.
So your first meal is then going to be at 4. So then between 4 and 10, you can eat. But I need to add a disclaimer. You don't just eat anything. You need to eat foods that will not, again, add excess fat into your body. So foods that will not spike your glucose, foods that will not spike your insulin. And maybe that we can discuss later. But that's the most important thing. So that window, so you have that. So 16 hours and 8 hours of eating. So you could have another one where you go for 18 hours. Now you see the pattern. You could have another one where you're going for 24 hours. So you're not eating for 24 hours. Then on and on like that. 16, 36 hours, 72 hours. And people have gone on to even, days without food. And there are records of people who stayed, I think I read somewhere, like a Scottish man was, like he went for nearly 600 days without food. Yeah.
And he came out alive.
Oh yes, he was very obese. So he had, the only thing he was eating, he was getting were minerals. Mm. Yes, just adding minerals into his drinks. So that is, and there are stories, there are people who stay for a long time without eating. So those are the fasts that we talk about. You mentioned these other fasts. Those, I think I've heard of Daniel fast. So this is not an exact, yes, it's a fast, but it's not exactly a fast for metabolism when you are talking about how your body processes food, because you are still eating. So that really is not in health is not considered a fast as such. It's just a restriction of some foods. Yes, because when you talk about a true fast is when you are not eating anything. You're just taking water. The only thing you can do is add some minerals.
Some minerals.
Yes. And metabolically you can just add. Sometimes you add anything, you're thinking of what will not spike your glucose. So yeah, that's the long short of fasting.
I like it when you break loose and give us a bit of your secrets. It's been not easy cracking you throughout all of our discussions. But our viewers, you can tell this is nothing but value. We are learning that the ideal way to fast, we have 16 hours. That is, if you stopped eating at 10, then if you are to do the right way to fast, that means 2 p.m. is the time you're supposed to be eating. But along the way, we get to graze and do the junk and so many things. I hope you are getting value. You now know the pattern. 18 hours, you know what to do. And 24 hours, you know what to do. But also, there is what he is calling the right way to break the fast. And I think that is what is very important. Something that will not spike your insulin.
Yes.
Could you add more flesh to that? Foods that will really spike your insulin and those that really will do the right thing.
Think about it this way. And the simplest concept that you can be applying when you think about spiking of insulin and spiking of sugar is restrict your carbohydrates, especially processed carbohydrates.
Break them down.
Restrict them.
Okay.
Yes. So you don't take those ones. When you talk about processed carbohydrates, you're talking about bread, talking about ugali is semi-processed. You're talking about juices that are already processed. You're talking about, the sodas. All the foods, think about anything that is processed. So think of natural as not processed. Then increase your proteins. So proteins here, you're thinking of your eggs, your meats. And when we say meats, I mean all kind of meats. Then the other one is increase what has been vilified for very long, fats. Increase the fats, because fats give you something we call satiety or satisfaction. So if you take some fat, you kind of feel full. So that also helps you even for fasting, because you feel full. Then you're not going to, need to eat more. So that is what you call the good foods. So you're thinking of something that is not going to spike your sugar and your insulin. So the best would then be to even break your fast using a protein, because protein will not spike your sugar. And of course fats, but you see, you can't take a lot of fats. Fats just need to be added a little to what you are eating. So your avocado, your other meats, they really help in making sure you are doing your breaking very well. Many people break their fasts using uji, porridge, maize meal. That will spike your sugar, and you might actually feel dizzy after when you're opening your fast, because your sugar will spike suddenly, and that may not be very good in terms of your health.
And yes. I know so many viewers here are wondering, when you talk about uji, are you chasing them away from their uji power because they take it with different intentions? I mean, you are getting us the real thing, yes. And I know, because we're going to take a short break, yeah? For our viewers, it's getting better and exciting. We are learning there's the right way to fast. And not only that, there is a right way to break your fast. He has given us a bit of nuggets on how you do that. We've been doing it the wrong way for a long time. But today from this show, I am very sure you're going to understand exactly now what to do. So remember, again, do not miss this. This program, again, is brought to you by JCK Hospital. Should you look for a place to be, these people are advocates for health for the body, mind, and soul. Now, that number on your screen, use it. Now, if you have any question, again, we have that number. Send it in right away. When we return, he's also going to help us understand the exceptions. Yeah, I know there are people who are asking about medication. If I'm on this kind of medication, yeah, if I'm diagnosed with this condition, do I need to fast? So many questions. He's going to be answering them in our second segment. So do not go anywhere. We're coming back in a short while.
Every great journey begins with a single step. And at JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences, that step is met with warmth, guidance, and possibility. Here, learning goes beyond the books. It is where future healthcare heroes are nurtured by passionate instructors who believe in their potential. From theory to practical, our healthcare assistant students gain real-world skills in a real healthcare setting, preparing to serve, support, and make a difference from day one. Because at JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences, we don't just teach healthcare. We empower excellence. Admissions are now open for our May and June intakes. Step into your future today. Find us at Blessed House, 5th floor, opposite Garden City Mall. JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences, empowering excellent healthcare.
Faith Today TV is here to make your brand outstanding. Worry not on where to advertise your business or your product. Call us on 0114 777 000 or email us on info@faithtodaytv.co.ke.
Hello there, my name is Enock. Taking care of your health should be a top priority. Looking at the various engagements that we have today, it is so easy to forget about our health, mental well-being. That is why we introduce to you the Healthy You Talk Show, a brand new show that is going to address matters concerning your health, nutrition, stress management, mental health, name it. We bring to you a wide range of experts who are going to be touching pertinent issues concerning our health. Tune in every Tuesday at 10 a.m. live on Faith Today TV.
Yes, greetings once again. Welcome back to the second segment of our discussion. Today it's getting hotter. We are talking about fasting. Many of you have been doing it the wrong way. Some of you are getting insights, and then we are helping countless lives really do it the right way. We have an expert in the building, no ordinary gentleman here with a lot of insights. He's merging ancient wisdom and modern day science. It's very, very exciting. We are able to unlock fasting in the first segment. This segment, we want to now answer all your questions. I hope you sent in your question. Yeah, we before we took a break, we were talking about restrictions. Are there restrictions? I know out there you are wondering, someone who has maybe a condition. I think to be specific, we can talk about diabetes itself, diabetes and people who are on medication. Yeah, how does that go?
Thanks, Enock, for that very important question. Many diabetes ask whether they can fast. And when I talk about diabetes here, let's talk about type 2 diabetes, because it's very important to be clear. Type 2 diabetes is the lifestyle type of diabetes, because you have type 1 and type 2 diabetes. So type 2 diabetes is basically what we call adult onset. And it's the one that is related to your lifestyle, unlike type 1, which is different. So let's talk about it, and it's the commonest. 85% of all diabetics, I think, are type 2 diabetics. So diabetes is type 2 diabetes is a disease of abundance of sugar or glucose. That's why I say you have high glucose. So would you fast? Yes and no. Yes, because if you fasted and you have high sugar, then your sugar will come down because the body will try to remove all the sugar. I mean, it will utilize the sugar that is there. So you break it down. So that's important because it will just go down if you are fasted. That's for type 2 diabetes. However, if you are on drugs, you need to be very careful if you are going to fast. And this can only be done under the instruction of your doctor, because fasting is a natural way of reducing sugar. I mean, it does what a drug would do. It will reduce your sugar if you don't eat. So you need to consult with your doctor to make sure that the drugs you are taking and then you are fasting, you will not go below the standard amount that the body needs for your body, for your sugar needs, and then you get into what we call a hypoglycemia state. So you need to avoid that.
And
so
I think that is even a worse state for someone to be when you don't have any fuel left.
Yes. And
Okay.
it means then you are going to need to eat again, take some sugar, which will break your fast. So you need to learn that balance.
So there is a balance to this.
Yes,
It's not
yes.
one thing that works for all. For
Yes.
our viewers, he is giving a disclaimer, and I think this is very, very important. If you have been diagnosed with any condition, you are on any medication, he is very clear. This is the disclaimer. You don't just initiate a fast.
Yes.
It's important that you involve your health practitioner, your doctor. Very, very important. And Jessica Hospital is giving that service. I think it's a good service. And of course, I like his expertise. He of course has a template for you to follow. And I know if you would want to follow that, he will share his contact after this discussion. Dr. Ali, I know you have more detail to that, but we need to do service to our viewers. And yes, people are sending in questions, so many questions. I can't wait to answer you, our viewer. I am getting the first one. Jackie, you didn't tell me where you are, but I hope you do next time. You are the very first one to send in your question. Thank you so much. Jackie says, I've heard about intermittent fasting, but what does it actually do to insulin? Is it safe for people with diabetes?
Great. I've mentioned about that.
And you talked about that.
Yeah.
Do you have something to add?
Yes.
Okay.
It is safe because it's an excess. Remember, you have excess sugar. I mean, it's an excess sugar. And what fasting is doing, it's reducing your sugar naturally without drugs. So intermittent fasting works. I mean, it will help you. The only problem is make sure that if you are already on drugs, then you don't get into hypoglycemia. But it works very well. Actually, some of my clients who are even on drugs, sometimes they do intermittent. And especially if you are monitoring. Key is monitor. So you have a way of monitoring. There are people who have the continuous glucose monitors. So it can actually show you on a minute-to-minute basis how your body is behaving towards even your fast. So that's a good way. So it does. It's okay so long as you're doing it in
the right way. And I like it when you bring in other tools. You talk about the CGM for monitoring.
Yes.
Those that are involved in the process. So if you're diabetic, so there is a framework to follow. You don't just, do this. I like that. Jackie, I hope your answer has come in the right way. I have another one, but they did not specialize. I've seen the name. I was about to jump that. Martha, lucky you. And thank you for following. I hope you subscribe and you have shared this with your people. Martha says, I've tried fasting, but I get super tired and irritable. Am I doing something wrong, or is just not for everyone?
Thanks, Martha, and sorry for that. It depends on two things. How consistent are you? because when you are, and how generally are you? How is your health state? So that's the one thing. So the second thing is, yes, you can feel like that. Remember, when you fast, your sugar levels already go down. So if your body is not used to that, then at first you are going to feel very bad. And that's why we encourage you to start small, start with 16, feel how it goes. And then it's also possible that when you feel like that, you have other deficiencies. So could be some minerals that you don't have. So sometimes you can, do some tests, visit your doctor, see whether you have some deficiency, so that when you fast, then they come out more prominently. And one of the things with fasting is that it resets your body. So it could tell you other things that are happening to your body. But it is normal. So you try. So you start small, then you continuously increase. If you've never fasted, don't fast for 24 hours. Start with, 14 hours. Some of my clients have never, when they're introduced to this, they get shocked because they've never stayed for more than 12 hours without eating. And then you're telling them they can go for 24 hours. And in a few months, then they can even go for 72 hours.
72 hours.
Yes,
And
yes.
I like the way you put it. It is not that there is certain, fasting is restricted to a certain group. Everyone can do this as long as you follow the right plan and pattern.
Yes.
Yeah, so our viewers, I hope you're getting value from this. And when he adds on minerals, I think it makes sense because a recent study by the Food and Agriculture Organization, it found out that our soils are really depleted of minerals. So if you cannot get the best, the fundamentals or the basics in the food, how about when you fast? And yet these minerals are very, very key. That is science I appreciate.
Yeah.
Thank you. We have another person who is asking from Roy Sambu. Thank you so much, Ian. Roy Sambu says, can fasting actually reverse conditions like PCOS or prediabetes, or is it that just hype?
Oh, it is not hype. What's his name?
Just near here, Roy Sambu.
Oh, his name.
Ian.
Yeah, Ian, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not hype. If you go back and watch our earlier episodes, we talk about insulin. So one of the key things is that, your insulin levels get lower when you fast, and then you become what we call very insulin sensitive. So when you become very insulin sensitive, then your body naturally will clear all your blood, sugar
Excess,
on its own. So if you are pre-diabetic, then it means if you are consistently fasting, then you get back to your normal. If you are then you have PCOS, among the other lifestyle changes that you make, fasting being one of them, then it means you become more insulin sensitive. And when you become insulin sensitive, it means you are also resetting other hormonal imbalances that you may have. Because remember, in fasting, you're giving your body time to rest. So what happens when you rest? The body does not just rest. It repairs itself when it is at rest. And I think that is why God created us to even sleep. Because it's that time that your body is now, repairing and, making those things, clearing itself, detoxification. In fact, the best detox is a fast. If you ever feel like you want to detox, just fast. Best detox. So yes, scientifically, it does reverse some of those things, but it's not on its own. It's a whole. You have to have all these factors.
All right. We are getting so many questions coming in. And then someone here, Jane. Jane, Facebook.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Jane, watching from Facebook. But there's so much value here. I am enjoying the show. Jane says, can you still fast if you are on medication? We answered that.
Yeah.
Shezi from Umoja, how long should someone fast to start seeing real health changes, especially with insulin sensitivity?
That depends on your level, very much on your level. Where are you at? And that is where, in the programs that we run, one of the first things you do is just get to know where are you at, so that then you can set clear goals. You know where it is. And remember, fasting is a natural thing. So one of the key things is that there's no rush. When you do fasting, you're not doing it and expecting miracles within a short time. Because how did insulin insensitivity come? It takes years. It takes years. So you wouldn't expect, but I'm not saying now when you start fasting, you are going to have results in years. No. Within 3 months of consistent fasting, you actually start experiencing results. Okay. And it's even more magical when you look at the results, the lab results.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, people who fast, they actually say that they experience more energy.
They experience more energy?
More energy, yes.
You have not yet had this question.
Yes.
It is coming in from someone, and you need to answer them.
Yeah.
They say, I fasted 16 hours and still gained weight. I still gained weight.
It depends on, there are too many factors. So before you fast, you need to understand where are you at and what are the other factors surrounding you. Because that's a very general, this is a person who probably needs to, you need to sit together and discuss what are the other factors. Yeah. Because fasting is not, it's, when he says 16, I don't know, was it 16 for one day or 16 for so many days? How,
Wow. Guys, this is very interesting. I see so many questions coming in through. That simply means this is valuable content. So I would request you to partner with us and get this message going all over the digital platforms. You have a church group, a family group. People can benefit from this program so that they don't gain weight even as they are fasting. And it is also clear that you have goals. Someone's goal is to lose weight, and then the things are turning around. So many people out there are fumbling and they could be struggling in this area. So if you help us reach this message to as many people, then you would have helped. Thank you so much. And then we have someone here. They didn't send their name. They didn't tell us where they are watching from. And I will allow me pass that. Let me go to someone who has sent in their name. This is Monica from Ruiru. Monica says, I fast till noon every day, but still crave sugar like crazy. Yeah. Does that mean I'm not doing it right?
Again, until noon, I don't know from what time that is.
The starting point is very important.
Yes, how long does it take? And then consistent is good. Monica, does she do it consistently? Because ideally, it should, if she is not deficient in other, in other things, then it should work.
Yeah.
And that is normal. She's already craving, means she's probably addicted to sugar. So she needs to run, to go through a program where she can actually remove the addiction of the sugar.
Oh.
And fasting is just one of that tool.
Okay.
It's a tool towards that.
Yeah.
So she's doing it. She's in the right path.
Yeah.
But she can do better by, having a more comprehensive way of addressing the sugar crave.
Wow. I like it when you talk about the framework. Daktari here talks about the freedom walk. Is it the freedom walk?
Yes. You
have that framework. We may not go deeper into it, but when you share your number, I'm sure people will reach you and get value in that line. We have a very nice one from Anna. It's just near here, CBD. Anna says, I've done keto before, but never tried fasting. Mm-hmm. Which one works better for insulin reset?
Interesting, Anna. Keto, fasting, they they're like the same. So if you do both of them, it even gives you even a higher, impact, because keto means you're not having carbohydrates. And if you reduce your carbohydrates, then you are increasing your insulin sensitivity. In fasting, it means you're not having anything, because even proteins will spike a bit of, remember, even proteins spike some bit of insulin. So, but the whole idea, fasting now, and if you fast, then it doesn't, there's no spike at all. So you can combine, and we could have a way of doing that combination.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a way of working them together for better. The problem is that people don't know how to put them together.
To balance.
And that's why we are there to guide you into balancing that for on your own personal terms. Yes.
And I like it for our viewers, because there are people who have not understood what ketogenic means, that there are people who may want to understand this. Like he put it, this is a diet whereby you are less in carbohydrate, high in fat, then a bit of moderate in proteins. And that is very important to note, because that is what you actually recommended. If someone is to break the fast, that is what they can do.
Yes.
So this is very, very exciting. Today it's getting even better. We have another one. It's a name. I finally got a name. Kevo. He says it's Kevo. Is there a difference between men and women when it comes to fasting and insulin?
Oh yes, there is. Interesting. Because men and women are different. We all know that women have their own cycle of life. So then they would be, you would handle things in a different way than a man. So yes, there is a way. So it's always good to understand that kind of a pattern. Generally speaking, there's no difference as such, but because we know that women are special, in that their body is special, and insulin and fasting actually resets some of these hormones, because insulin can raise some hormones, can reduce some other hormones. So that balancing, then women need to look at it in a different way. And yes, that can be guided by, your practitioner, or your health coach, or whoever you are seeing to guide you.
I will admit, not so many medics know this stuff. I tell you, not so many know this stuff. So when you try to guide them to, the right source, the right source is here. So, there are so many questions. We can't take them all. But before we conclude, just answer this one. Maybe you also give your parting shots. Should someone start a fast? To start with, someone has done this, he has not done this before, and they are interested because it has its benefits.
Thanks. That's a good one. The most important thing is to understand your why. Why do you want to fast? Because if you don't know why you want to fast, then you may not know what you are going to do in this kind of a fast. So that's the first thing. And how will you know what you want to fast? Is first of all by understanding where you are at. So the whole idea is know where you are at in terms of your health, then you will know what you want in a fast. It makes more sense, so that you have your own personal goals that you're trying to achieve in a fast. And in this case, for these health fast that we are discussing. Yes. And my parting shot is that fasting is one of the most free, it's free. The only cost to it is your time, and it doesn't cost you money, and it saves you money because you are not eating, you're not buying anything, and it helps you reset your health. So it is a very important aspect. Some studies even show that you can actually prevent many illnesses when you have consistent fasting. So that, and lastly, is that I can guide you into that, and that's what we do. We have the program called Afya, a program that guides people into better metabolic health, including fasting for better health. And you can always reach us at, don't know if I give my number.
You can go ahead and give the number.
Okay, so my number is 0739 14 0078. So 0739 14 0078. So you can get in touch, or you can get to our website at afyawatch.com. Then you'll be able to even book an appointment, and we can guide you into better health.
All right. Thank you so much, Daktari. We are really so honored and excited with the way you have packaged your information today. It's giving us value, because so many people in church today, we've just been fasting as a spiritual practice. We have not been knowing that it is even having extra benefits that we are getting in our health. And I think that's why patriarchs, like Abraham, the other day you talked about Moses and the like, the centenarians, they lived longer because of such practices. And I like it when you integrate it in your practice and help people of all kinds of life. So for our viewers, remember again, this program is brought to you by no one else but JCK Hospital. You can find them in Roysambu along Lumumba Drive. They're just next to Park University. That's very important. And then those of you who are familiar with how opportunities are coming up, you've heard about the CNA courses for nursing, healthcare courses and things like that. You want to start. JCK Hospital College of Health Sciences is giving you a footing, a better way into. It's a very short course, but it is giving so much value. And I'm very excited that it's not so far away. It's just here at opposite Garden City as you're going to Safari Park. Very, very important. Again, as we conclude this, it is important to note that fasting is not just about skipping a meal that has been nullified. It is about resetting your health. It is about recovering your body. It is about reclaiming your health. It is even more importantly about repurposing your future. So it's important that you do it with knowledge and understanding. And again, we know that there are those of you who follow us online. You are watching this from hospital, from your gadget, all over the world. We want to remind you that those doctors you see, the healthcare workers, they are simply an extension of God's healing hand. It is God who heals. And it's important to be proactive as well. Follow what they tell you to do, because it will help a long way. Again, my name is Enock Kitondekijja, and you have been watching the Healthy You program. Until we meet next Tuesday, same time, stay proactive, stay informed, and stay healthy. God bless you.
At JCK Hospital, we understand that a child's smile is priceless. That's why our dental services are tailored with care and compassion to ensure your little ones have the best experience possible. From gentle checkups to specialized treatments, our pediatric dental experts create a safe and friendly environment, making every visit fun and stress-free. Because we believe healthy habits start young. And for the grown-ups, we've got you covered too, with top-notch dental care for the whole family. Visit JCK Hospital today, located in Roysambu, opposite Park University on Lumumba Drive, and experience dental care that's gentle, professional, and family-friendly. JCK Hospital, you first.